yo, Play, we back.
Hey, Coon, I think we back.
Hey, yo, Play, we back.
Hey, yo, Coon, I think we back.
Once again,
Kings and queens of the world, welcome to
KingME,
a podcast on holistic
flyness,
excellence, and the philosophy on how to
win at life.
Peace, family. What up?
Peace, family. What's good? I see the king in you see the king in me. Only reason why we see is cause we royalty. Look, I see the queen in you see the king in me, and only reason why we see is cause we royalty. Because we royalty. Because we royalty. We royalty. We royalty. We royalty. We royalty. KingME. 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 KingMe.
Yeah, we are straight.
He said, I like that. I like that.
I swear to God, this is a genius vibe, and I'm not just saying that right now. I'm feeling real like official. Even looking outside. This is on point.
Yeah, man, we
came through with the lights. Thank you for setting it up. This just brought the you know when you needed that one. This was that extra, like, okay, boom, we there. It just got it.
It's a little extra.
It got it there.
Yeah, we in here.
Oh man,
we in here. Hey, Coon, what up?
Play, what's poppin'? What's good?
Man, miss my brother.
Likewise.
Hey, we spent a lot of time together this week.
This hour.
Yeah.
This minute, this day.
Yeah.
We've been rocking.
The last couple of days.
Yeah. It's that season, it's go time.
What's up, bro? You been good though?
Blessed.
Yeah.
Blessed. Absolutely, man. You know, like I said, this is the season of releasing all fingers and allowing the blessings to come to you without you trying to feel like you're in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Allowing the creator to do what the creator does.
Yeah.
No more fighting, no more struggle. That's all surrender game.
You can't fight a river.
You better listen.
You can't fight a river.
Hold your nose
and go with the flow. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. I mean, you can't. That's what you got to do. Surrender.
Yeah.
I ain't tell you this. I lost a partner a couple of days ago.
Oh.
Yeah. 34. May the homie rest in peace. It's an unfortunate situation. But it's also a blessing, right? So, man, it's an honor for me to have you on the first show with the first co-host. With me and my brother CoonThePoet, Chris&Play. And we got the only world famous RJ the Second, a.k.a. Rod, a.k.a. Hot Rod, a.k.a. the gentleman's assassin.
What?
Man.
My big brother, though.
Wow.
You here, bro?
What's happening? Oh, I'm here. This is official. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the invitation. Yeah. This is a beautiful thing. Beautiful
man.
Vibe. I love it.
Yeah, man. I just want to tell you I love you, bro.
Man.
And I value you.
Too, man, for real.
I appreciate you. For those who don't know the backstory, Hot Rod, a.k.a. Rodney Ferrell, put me on at 17, him and his partner. They passed the torch and really gave me the game on how to live and survive in this space after 18. And so my responsibility is now an elder, right? 34 this year?
Yeah.
That's how it be sometimes. Trust me, I know.
Am I 33 or 34? I don't even know how old I am.
Breaks that elderhood.
Yeah. My eldership, as my brother CoonThePoet says, it's really my responsibility to pass the torch, which is what I've been doing with my bro across the table, right?
For sure.
Yeah. So, appreciate you being here, King. We really do.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
Welcome. This space is your space. This home is your home.
Yeah, sacred ground, man.
Yeah.
We pay homage to the elders.
To the big homies.
We pay homage to the big homies.
Those a step ahead of us. Those an inch of a step ahead of us. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, without us being able to do that, we lose.
Man.
In every capacity. So we just want to make sure that you know that you here.
Can I give it to him the proper way?
Yeah, for sure. Get him.
And this is why we pass the torch to keep the fire lit. Seek counsel from the elders, treat their wisdom like a gift. I'd rap it through practice, then write it down on manuscripts. Then we pass it to the next generation of leadership. I say we pass the torch to keep the fire lit. Seek counsel from the elders, treat their wisdom like a gift. Unwrap it through practice, then write it down on manuscripts. Then we pass it to the next generation of leadership. I say we pass it to the next generation of leadership. So we pass it to the next generation of leadership.
I say.
Yeah.
Hey, I need to hear. Y'all gonna let me be?
Hey,
but they wouldn't let me be.
That's how you feel?
Yeah. Because this is the segue for him.
Absolutely.
This is the segue.
Y'all gotta understand, like, to be here, to be sitting at this table is a blessing for all these brothers. We know, growing up in Sacramento, California, or coming up in Sacramento, California, we know that, like, it is not easy, and it is not just for we are here because of grace, because of blessing, and because of a higher calling and a higher power. And we know it was not easy, especially when we constantly got folks trying to hold us and keep us where we were. But we tell them like this. I tell them like this. Y'all gonna let me be what they wouldn't let me be. Look, hey, yeah. Y'all gonna let me be what they wouldn't let me be. Tell them. Y'all gonna let me be what they wouldn't let me be. My heart used to be hard to see, but now I show it easily see. Being hard is too hard to be. But don't get it twisted. I learned how to be hard from these streets. When we were young, you couldn't kick it if you wasn't a beast. To run the jungle, you needed lion like tendencies. Or you could test it on any day over anything. The wrong posture will have your head brought to your knees. So we learn to keep our head on the swivel, but forward motion at all times. Cause staring too hard, you could be crossing the wrong line. More than 3 seconds of eye contact was considered too long of a time. Cause you don't know who homie got beef with. He might start tripping on some paranoid PTSD tip. Whip out the pistol and start busting and empty the full clip. Rest in peace to some of the homies that we went to school with. True story. Truth is, we all had our traumas. We all had dysfunctions and we all had dramas. We all had drama. Even a passive kid will punch you out about his mama, grow up and get tatted. Death over designer, but y'all gonna let me be what they wouldn't let me be. Tell them y'all gonna let me be what they wouldn't let me be. And so I developed the peace there. Look at your spirit and let you know that you're good here. Connect with your spirit and let you know that you're good here. I wear my heart to let you know that I'm good here. Y'all gonna let me be what they wouldn't let me be. Tell them y'all gonna let me be what they wouldn't let me be. Tell them y'all gonna let me be.
They gonna let me be, bro.
Absolutely.
Man, you already, I know your backstory. I know what you've been through. You know, and again, man, salute and praise to you and your elders, your ancestors, and your bloodline, and what you're doing for RJ the Third, bro. Like, it's huge. Congratulations on the marriage in the new house.
Thank you.
Congratulations. The mansion.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing.
You know, the 2 whips, the kid, the dog.
Man,
it ain't a white picket fence, it's a steel gate.
Let's go.
You feel me?
Yeah, warrior's dream.
It's a warrior's dream. So,
shit.
yeah, man. So, the topic of today, is 100% about tomorrow started yesterday.
Okay. Yes.
Tomorrow started yesterday.
Yes.
Okay. And it's a workshop we did with the baby. So, you know, we put that image up on the board and we let them take a couple of minutes to really decide what that meant to them. Tomorrow started yesterday. And what they came up with was the philosophy of what you do today will dictate 2 days from now. Will dictate 5. We talking about 6th graders, bro.
I like that.
We talking about.
You know, I like that.
Yeah, we talking about 6th graders. So really putting them in a position of really understanding the philosophy of life and taking responsibility for everything that they have their hands on. So y'all gonna let me be
what they wouldn't let me be
because you already know they tried to box us.
Oh, for sure.
They tried to count us out before we even got here, though. And you've reached a level of success.
Set up.
Man, yes, it was a setup from day one. So, you know, Coon doesn't know your background or your backstory.
Please like me, man. I just know, I know your greatness. I know the inspiration that I get just by being in your presence often. Like, I know, like, and it's a level of force that great and that big only comes from a level of force of resistance. And I'm interested in finding out and hearing that anecdote, right? And so, yeah, man, I'm all ears, I'm all heart, I'm all mind. Let's go.
Man, again, I appreciate y'all having me, but on a humble beginning tip, man, I'm literally just, I'm y'all. I'm just another version of y'all and another version of everybody that's been out here trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Originally, you know, it's funny. So my journey started in Los Angeles, started in Watts. 17 of us in one house, so we got everybody.
17
as an organization.
17 in one house.
We gang banging, we selling dope, and we using dope, and trying to raise babies at the same exact time. So it was like chaos, you know, on a consistent. You know what I mean? And that's kind of that was my that was my beginning. You know what I mean? So that was my start to this place that we reside in.
What age we talking about?
I mean, from 0 to 10. I mean, that was just.
Sheesh.
You know what I mean? That was like.
From 0 to 10, 17 in one house?
Yeah, it was cranking. I mean, that's what it's grandma house. So that's.
Oh yeah.
Everybody go to your grandma house. That's that's how they dictate where you're from. Where your grandma stay at.
Yeah. That's right.
Right.
Yeah, that's real.
It's just real. So from there, moved to Northern California and got an opportunity to see. Before that, what's so funny, and this is so valuable, so important. I was in LA, and when I was like, I might have been like 6, but because you go through so many different things at a young age, when you get shocked from being at a youth age, you're able to see things and remember them.
Yeah.
From the very, very beginning.
Yeah, trauma is real when you're a baby.
Trauma is real when you're a
Hold
baby.
up, we want to track and play it back for me. Say that one more time.
Okay, so when you are at your earlier adolescence and you see things that are just like highly traumatic, you actually remember them more than than anything else. It just shocks you. It shocks the memory, so then it's like imprinted in.
Absolutely.
And so when I was about 6 years old, my aunt took me to Malibu. Changed my life.
Hey, Malibu.
Changed my life in a way of just to when you stay in a community and that's all you see, that's all you think that is possible.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you're outside of that, you're like, wait a minute, what? Boom, perspective changes.
Yeah.
So my perspective changes.
Yeah.
And then I moved up north, and then all of a sudden I started seeing different things, and everything started changing because my vision started changing.
Mm-hmm.
What was important back then, where you may have saw, honestly growing up, if gangbanging was important in that scenario, and then over here, school was important.
Yeah.
So that's a totally different.
Yeah.
The value set was different.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you know what I mean. You had to be like, okay, well, we come from winning, so I'm gonna just win at anything we do.
Yeah. Hands down.
Oh, so then I realized we just got the wrong memo.
What was the memo, and where did you live at in SoCal?
I was in Watts, so 113 Watts House. It was right down the street from the projects. Watts is pretty small. You know what I mean? So it's
What year?
this was in the 80s, brother.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was.
So what, like literally 1980 to
Yeah, it was
91 ish?
Yeah, so it was cracking.
Cracking. Literally cracking.
Like literally cracking. Like
Absolutely.
With
that
crack.
just was. That was just normal. Like,
Yeah.
crack, it was just normal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
What was the narrative then, though? From your perspective, if we looking at Rodney, the 10-year-old, what was that perspective?
Gangbanging and selling dope.
absolutely.
I mean, there was, you know what I'm saying? My dad sold dope, and he was, but I was with my dad every day.
Yeah.
So entrepreneur of the streets, you know what I mean? So he was able to move into every single neighborhood, make it happen, and he did it in a way that's where I learned my networking from.
Let's go.
Cause he can go any hood, no
Let's
issue.
go.
Any hood, no issue. I mean, that dude was like 5'5", like powerful, like holy shit, this dude was crazy. Now that you know when you get older and you realize, like, holy shit,
You were a powerful dude. You are a tall spirit.
Yeah.
that dude
Real
was
king.
crazy.
Standing on your throne.
Yeah, so it was just, then, you translate that, he went from not having a high school diploma to moving to Vacaville because my mom got a job at the prison, right? To check this out.
Hold on. Not the part.
Please.
So
please.
your mom, his wife.
Yes. Yes.
Had a job at the prison.
Yes.
While she's dating her.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah, so mom is from Compton, dad is from Watts.
Hey.
Mom's obviously grew up, sometimes I put, the book will be coming out, Sperm of Watts, Egg of Compton.
Yes, let's go.
The dynamics is crazy.
Get your pre-order in now.
Yeah.
I know the politics a little bit. I got a whole lot of family in Compton and Watts, Grape Street.
Yeah.
And so
I mean, I think that that's it's just the wave of how we moved to this place anyway. So we all kind of we all in here, we all connected. You know what I mean? It's so so that's how we moved up north. But then he just took his entrepreneur skill set and started a business, and it's just like when you got ownership and you got hustle, you put it together and you adapt, and that's what it really was. At the end of the day, it just was I had parents that adapted to their environment, and they did it, and they rose to the occasion.
So your vision at 10 was gang banging and selling dope.
Yeah,
that was the lens. That was the perspective.
That was equivalent.
And then y'all moved up here because mom got the job.
Yeah.
And then you went from the hood to where in the north, Northern California,
to Vacaville, Fairfield,
Bay Area. Stand up.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, yada
yeah.
Hey,
close enough. I don't
like close like outskirts. I almost didn't want to get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I consider anything up and down 80. Northern California.
Hey, Northern California.
I agree. I'm just, but yeah.
Because he understands the politics.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Because he understands the
I
politics.
appreciate you understanding the politics.
Yeah.
You are family.
Right. And I understand we are all family. So what's so lovely is that, my perspective of California is beautiful. You know what I mean? Because I had homies. So when I moved this way, I had family in Oakland, and then I got, the family that really took me in that I connected with, they was all from Vallejo. So
Valley Joe.
I mean, it was like
home.
It's the same thing over here.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah,
but it was just a different little vibe because we're in Vacaville, so we were minority. In LA, we majority.
Yeah.
So over here, I'm a minority.
Yeah.
So then you adapt into a totally different environment. Now they put me in slow classes because I come from the hood, so they automatically believe and perceive that I'm not as fast as I should be at that age.
Because they knew in your records it said you came from what?
Straight up.
So that's what I want to real quick. I want to pause right here for a second.
Yeah.
And I want to, like, your schooling. What was that like? Like, you being the dude that, like, the dynamic brother that I know today. Like, what were you as a student? Like,
I wasn't really. I really wasn't like.
School wasn't a priority.
I wasn't really.
Talk about that.
I appreciate you being very honest and being very
as successful as you are. You talking about from 0 to 10, school was not a priority when you was in Watts.
It really wasn't.
What was the priority?
Man, it definitely wasn't a priority.
And keep it all the way.
I gotta walk across the train tracks. So my priority is making sure I'm protect myself, making sure. I mean, everything was. It's just you had to be ready at all times. I just remember being in elementary, like. Scrapping was a regular.
Head on a swivel.
For those who are listening,
in the class,
scrapping means to fight.
In the class, like on the regular, that was a trip.
The fight was in the class, not
in the classroom. No. I don't know playground. No. I'm just talking about like
hands,
just hands.
Catch my fade in the classroom.
From blah blah blah. Like at that age, it's funny because when you get older, you like what? It was babies,
man.
We so advanced on that topic as babies, but that's how it go. Whatever you put in front of a human, they gonna absorb, suck it up, and that's what they're gonna apply. So cool. Oh, it makes sense. So we just had the wrong memo.
So the memo that you had, the lens that you were looking through was survival mode.
Oh, for sure. You gotta adapt.
And I'm
it's like a language.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Just gonna learn that language.
Yeah. I'm more focused on protecting myself and being safe. More so than anything else. Nothing else is relevant.
Ladies, I still was at
Mackin at 9,
huh?
Oh,
so when they wrote the movie The Wood, right? When they wrote The Wood,
you gotta. That's never
Son.
in my life. That will. I don't. That's just what.
Never chew. That boy got knowledge.
Hey.
You gotta love the queens, Mother Nature, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Man, so
numbers, hey,
get in the back seat. Making me don't say nothing.
So yeah, man, and moved up north, and it was lovely because it was things you didn't have to worry about no more.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it wasn't
gangbanging was different.
Yeah, nah, it just changed the
different power.
The narrative changed. So how was the alignment between the first narrative being I want to be safe, I got to protect myself, so by any means just to get home because I'm crossing the tracks, change once you got to Vacaville? Because now you in double digits, right? You're 10, 11 years old, you in your teens.
Yeah.
What did the narrative change to then? Besides them saying that you were supposed to be special needs or special ed or whatever the case is.
I went from like
how did you feel about that narrative?
Well, first you didn't like it because I'm like, I'm away from my family, I'm away from my friends, my partners. Like, that was real uncomfortable. Anytime, you know, I think when you exit out of your current situation, regardless of how beneficial it was, and you know, you still that culture shock was crazy, and it's uncomfortable for a while. Yeah. You know, but then you make adjustments. You know what I mean? Like I've never been the type of individual that just wasn't, you know, was afraid of those adjustments. So we adjusted real quick, real well, and we played it to win. And that's what I learned from my parents. We always played to win. Like we never was on no sucker shit, if you will. I don't know if off record, whatever you want to say that. But I didn't come from parents like that. Like they was just always strong, and there was never punks about their situation. So I just never knew how. All right, this is what we doing. Let's go.
No such thing as folding.
Nah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So
they
definitely kept me strong. Like I said, I did everything with my dad, did everything with my mom. So it was really close to me. And then when my dad passed when I was 15, that was crazy. So you know, I got a lot of close family that's not physically here. So that also, you know, strengthened the growth, and it put the growth level that I have on urgency, because it basically lets you realize like what you probably perceive as important in terms of society ain't really shit, ain't really that important. You know what I mean? And it gets you aligned with what really is the important part, what your job and responsibility really is. You know, so
with all of that being said, you telling me right now, after the age of 10, somewhere between 10 and 15, you understood that the narrative is now you are responsible for the bloodline.
Oh, 100%, for sure.
Legacy.
For sure.
Legacy.
You know what I'm saying? I got a whole group of family members relying on me. I still got a whole group. I mean, majority of my family is in Los Angeles, relying on me. You know what I'm saying? Right now.
Shit.
So I don't have time to play with my time. The 168 hours I got in a week is real serious.
Yeah.
It's real serious. You know what I'm saying? Because I know where I came from. So I know what I gotta do. Yeah.
The first conversation Coon and I had was about reflection.
Let's go.
Right? Being able to look at yourself in the mirror and accept what it is that you've come from.
Yeah.
Right? What it is that you've been through, and to be able to stand on that. Not become a victim of it, but literally stand on it. Stand on it so you can see right where you're going, so your trajectory changes. Right? And then the second conversation was about time. Right? The difference between a hourglass and a clock on the wall. Right? Because the hourglass runs out. A clock on the wall keeps going. The narrative of that says that you have all the time in the world. Right? So these are all the things we teaching the babies. Right? So
powerful.
Man, you know, number three with you, RJ the second.
Hey. Legacy.
Yeah.
Right? Tomorrow started yesterday.
Yes, sir.
What does that mean to you?
Yes, sir. When should you build a house? You would build a house when the blueprint is already done. You wouldn't say, oh, we're going to build this house. Let's start right now. All right, where the wall going to go?
I don't know.
Just put it up somewhere. Where we gonna put the floors at? I just throw them right there.
Yeah. What kind of floors we gonna put down? I don't know.
No. So the design of that life, design of tomorrow should already be done. The design of next year should already be done. Right. You know, so you should know where you're going, right? So if I say I'm gonna get in a car and I'm traveling somewhere, I would know where I'm going. So that means the destination has already been decided. So the decision, right? So that's what we have. We have choices. We have decisions to make. So the decisions that I make today are going to affect what tomorrow has for me. You know what I mean? And I have that power. I have that control to play a part in this place, this universe, right? And that's how we do it. We play a part with it.
The decisions you make today affect tomorrow. Tomorrow started yesterday. What that mean to you, Dr. Coon?
Man, you know, immediately the whole time I keep hearing as you talking, man, and I think y'all around the same age, so I keep hearing my big cousin's voice, and it's funny because he called me last night. But when he got out and he did a 10-year span, right, 10-year bid, locked down, and that was his education. But I watched him as a 7-year-old get hauled off to that place, and that shifted my whole reality. But when he got out, he came out, extra wise. Right? Yeah. After his education, and what he gave me is something I keep with me to this day. And I'm sure some of us have heard it in this building, right? But proper preparation prevents poor performance. And so, like, literally staying prepared and staying ready for whatever, right? Sugar free. Stay ready. You gotta get ready. The Cali salute, like, so literally, bro. Like, so thank you, man, for embodying that. Thank you for holding on to that, carrying it, and showing what it looks like on a legitimate level too, bro. For sure. Like taking the game, and that's. We talk a lot about alchemy too, right? Like, but literally taking a game that we were given, even if it was, those that came before us did what they had to do. Yeah. Like, we were coming from some stuff. Yeah. And I got some stuff. Like, and absolutely, like, and that's probably why he was holding it a secret for so long, because I feel like our families are very much like parallel, like moved to something like, right? And I'm like, okay, that makes perfect sense.
Hey, y'all want to know a secret?
What's that?
That's the truth.
Man.
I ain't said nothing because I know both of y'all individually. And I don't know how well connected y'all know y'all are, or for the rest of my brothers in here, like, we all come from the same story.
Yeah, it's wild, man.
We just got a few years on each other. Yeah, or we walking together at the same age. It's the same thing.
It's beautiful for me. Like, it's a breath of fresh air of being able to be around my con. Because there's and that's funny because we didn't have to even share each other's stories to be like, yo, man, I feel comfortable here. I can breathe here. Like, we've been rocking.
But that's the recognition of the king, though.
Yeah, absolutely. The king doesn't have to say, hey, I'm from this kingdom, and I'm like, hey, man.
Nah, man, I ain't worried about that.
I see the king in you.
You see the king in me.
And the only reason why we see
is because we royalty. Man, it's game recognized game. That's all it is.
And I appreciate that, man.
Y'all looking real familiar, huh?
That part. So it's like I said, breath of fresh air, man. And just like really acknowledge, like, we come from some stuff, right? Those that make sacrifices. I say this up, like, I saw my first gun when I was 2 years old, but it wasn't one gun, it was lots of guns, big guns, and it was my uncle coming to drop it off to my mom's, who was a safe, right, sister that stayed out the way. And I thank God that my mom is my mom, like, because that's the only reason why, like, I was preserved long enough, and I had perspective. But also, I also had that exposure around me, right, of that game. Like, honestly, even being an artist, being like a young entrepreneur, right? Literally, I watched my uncle hustle. I watched him not sleep, and like I said, doorbell ringing. And so I remember when I was 17 and we was in the studio all night long, not sleeping, like taking a quick nap. All right, you gotta record, right? And I was like, not flashback, like, man, and I felt like I made my uncle proud. Yeah, I felt like, and I'm like, man, and I remember, like, man, thank you. It's that same hustle, that same grind. So taking that thing, right, utilizing it into clean it up, clean that grind up, right? Legitimize it, and then take that same drive, that same passion, and put it in something legitimate and build your empire off it. Absolutely. Still maintaining the legacy, but having a way to cleaning your legacy. Yeah. And then when you pass that to your junior, right, your third. Yep. Like, no, this is who we always been, and this is who you are. You have a clean slate now, son. Take this. And build upon that.
Responsibility for the legacy, bruh. That's so important.
Man, and I don't get to see that too often. That's why, like, I want to drop a gangster tear. I'll save that for later on. But so thank you, bro, because everything that currently right now, and I was going to ask you, how many siblings did you have? Yeah. Because currently right now, although there was 5 kids, 5 grandkids in my family, right? Small, but we have a big family that expanded. Like, my grandfather had a lot of siblings, but he had 5 kids. My grandpa had 5 kids, and then between them they had 5 grandkids. And a lot of times we get so used to, most people only go with the flow. They only go with what they're taught. They don't take what they don't. My thing and my question is, what about what did we learn? Aunt did this amount of years, the cousin did this amount of years. We still ain't moved. So what can I? What did I learn? So I'm like, yo, I don't know what's over there, but I gotta do something different.
Do something different.
And so currently right now I'm in the battle in the midst knee deep in the game of trying to show my family something different and showing the benefits of doing something different, regardless how far left I go. And they're like, bro, what are you doing?
You experienced that though. So you talk about the cousins.
Oh yeah.
Who watching the Snapchat or watching the gram or watching, the posts and things that you putting out.
Yeah, man. With social media, it's crazy because it gives them the ability to stay real close with me in a different way. You know what I mean? But I mean, I get calls on certain things I may say. I may say certain things and it just might blow their mind. Where we may talk about it like every day, and this is our everyday language.
Absolutely.
But on that side, it's like I ain't never heard that before.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you're doing it legit.
Yeah. But
at the end of the day, it is gonna be weird for a minute. That's just what it is, right? If you come from a situation of consistently doing the same thing and seeing everyone around you doing the same thing, when you see this person on the outside do something, it's like an alien to you.
Yeah.
So most of your families that you grew up with, they gonna look at it like, why would you do that? What is that? That seems weird. But that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
We gotta carve a new path. We gotta go to a different place in order to generate different results.
Yeah, I mean, doing the same thing over and over with no results is insanity. And we got a lot of that floating in our communities. Unfortunately, we got a lot of zombification
due to the
trials and tribulations and the trauma that is taking place. And like, even for me, like, my decision to move differently from my hood and my bloodline was at 10. I woke up real quick and was like, this ain't working. I don't want no parts of that. It gotta be something different. Like, I deserve to have something different. Y'all struggling and y'all okay with that. Our people struggling and they okay with that. Man, it's time to wake up, bro. We come from greatness. Hence the reason why the podcast is called KingME, right? Because I'm a king in mind. It's royal. I buy my royal rights. I deserve what it is that I want, what it is that I need, and what it is that I've sacrificed for.
Absolutely.
I don't want no hand-me-downs, bro. Came from that.
Ownership.
Yeah.
Ownership.
Heavily.
For the sake, and that's the piece. And because in the past couple of years, and once again, Play, I appreciate you. I salute you. And I salute and appreciate you too, Rod. Just because of the fact, like showing and taking ownership of ownership.
Yeah.
Like when I speak that to my family, I'm like, yo, why do y'all want to keep working for some? And honestly, on the side of my family, on my father's side, the Coon side, right, which is actually, on paper they're better off, right? Everybody had good jobs working for people. And when I told them, like, no, I've made a decision that I'm going to move full force with my business, with my artistry, with my craft. And they're like, and I'm like, nah, I make income with my artistry. But what about the benefits? What about all these different? I get those concerns, but now for me it's like it almost. And I had to say, I'm like, man, this almost sound like what some of the slaves said to some of the slaves that was trying to go and get freedom. Like, and I'm not, mind you, I'm a rebellious sort, and I get that from my mama's mama. She's just so rebellious because her daddy was a gangster, right? He used to run the numbers, and he used to, do a lot of sleep with pistols under his pillow and faked his death and all kind of other stuff. Shout out to Ernest Watkins first, man. Because you put something inside of the bloodline that said, I'm not going to allow anybody to make me do anything that I don't want to do.
Y'all gonna let me be what they wouldn't let me be.
So, like, regardless of how it looked, and like I said, like I was saying earlier, they made sacrifices because they were trying to come out of something. Yeah. And so it's our job to dust that off, and clean it up, right? And so, like, that rebellious nature, because I'm like, hey man, with my family now, I'm just like, yo, at some point we have to stop asking permission and continue. Like, can I have just a little bit of a kibble?
Man, I'm no more crumbs.
And building your dream.
No more crumbs.
Building your. I'm with helping. I'm with assisting with dream. Like, I'm all about dream. But man, however you need me to ride with you, and that's why that's why we are here. Yeah. When it comes to dreams, let's build that. But
let's go.
My legacy. My kids get here. What are they gonna inherit? What are you going to leave behind? That's the question I've been posing to my family. Like,
question for the podcast, everybody who's listening: what is your family inheriting? What is the inheritance of your bloodline? What are you leaving? Whether it be good or bad, whether if it's something that you physically own, literally own, spiritually own, characteristically, what are you passing down to the bloodline?
What about your granddaughter, mama?
Ouch.
What about your grandson, daddy?
That's a powerful question.
Man, but nobody proposed. And I'm not trying to blame nobody, but like 4 generations, bro, like they were bamboozled. Straight up. They were 100% bamboozled in thinking that, like, oh, don't get master mad. Let's not shake the tree because they may come get us. I'm in the space now, like, let them motherfuckers come.
Yeah, you gotta look at your past as a school, and all of it is a past, right? So
Learning from it. Learning from it.
Yeah.
And the stepping stone, right?
For sure.
And I talk, my grandfather, Dr. Coon, right?
PhD? Or ED?
PhD, yeah, PhD.
Okay. Shout out to Dr. Coon.
Shout out, and I told him, like, listen, it is because, and I'll be honest, because I'm in the space of being very transparent. Like, I know that I am most definitely carrying this torch, but it looks different because I'm of a different generation. Of course, very much so. But I'm like, it is, and so, my grandfather's big thing is like, we had to work for hours. Y'all generation needs to work. I feel like y'all generation is spoiled. Blah blah blah. Right. That's just me being honest. And what I said is, no. The whole idea was y'all go through what I battled through, the things that I've gone through, the 3 bullets that I had to take in order to get here to this point. My children should not.
For sure.
If I learned, if I soaked up enough game, if I learned how to maneuver in these streets, how to maneuver with people, how to heal,
Right.
My kids should not
be carrying your wounds.
Should not have to go through that same exact
trauma.
That means I'm not doing my job. And we know that wealth is built in what? Generations. 3 generations. Right? It takes 3 generations to build wealth. And so, and this is not a knock. I love my family, I love my grandfather with everything in me. But I'm like, and I will ask any grandparent, like, with what you're building, how are you setting things up? How are you building a foundation so that way the ones after you could stand? Or are you just building riches?
I don't even know if they was taught that though.
To make sure that you sustain. I mean, there are, because I see it in some families.
There are some.
Yeah, some.
There are some. But I don't even want to touch on that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, I'm not, no blame game.
Yeah.
Our people did the best that they could. But right now, the narrative that we have,
and that's the piece.
That's the piece. Narrative that we have. There are no excuses no more. Everything is readily available.
Absolutely. Like, yeah.
What was you gonna say about last night?
I'm a fan of that. Right?
I was just gonna say, I just posted last night. It stops with me and it starts with me.
Yep, let's go.
Boom. So right there.
Responsibility.
So that right there is where I 100% I buy into that all day long.
Yeah.
It's right here. So whatever I see, for an example, if I see something wrong with the school system,
let's go.
It means exactly what he just said. Let's go. It means that, okay, I need to grow, put myself in a position to contribute.
Affect change, right.
So if it's something with my financial situation, my family's financial situation, I see no one's doing anything. Oh, it's on me. Got it.
Yeah.
I need to grow, learn, whatever I need to do to contribute.
Yeah.
So I don't look left, I don't look right, I look within me, and I just
that's it.
I hustle and I bust it out, and that's just what it is. It don't. I just that's it. So based on when I originally shared with you guys, like the people closest to me are not physically here. Some of them are not physically here. That's pretty much that's the value that I've gained from that situation, right? So every loss you can gain something, and you can pick up and learn what has that situation taught you, what value have I grasped from that, and that's the value that I grasped from that. It's like, oh well, shit. If it's to be, it's up to me.
Let's go.
In any capacity.
Warrior mentality, though. And that's
capacity.
Like, teaching that piece.
You see what I'm saying?
Teaching, like, at the end of the day, the mission and assignment is to make sure that we get out alive. I'm lit. At the end of the day, we're getting to where we said we're going to go to. I don't care what we got to go through.
Man.
If I got to put you on my back,
man.
We're going to get in a soldier never leaves one behind. Like,
man.
Right? And so, like, that means, like, I got doing whatever we got to do.
Yeah.
And so, but I appreciate you for having that heart.
Yeah, for sure.
I appreciate you for jumping in the warrior stance
And being able to lead with that too.
Yeah, when we know that they're trying to teach us fetal position.
Oh,
They're trying to push fetal position on us,
sure.
right? Make us accept fetal position, but it's warrior stance, right?
all day.
I want to now because I just had a glimpse of something real
Yeah.
quick. Something just popped in my head. Because something I said before, like I believe that sometimes fetal position looks like, or warrior stance looks like fetal position. Do you have any of those moments ever? Because we know that it's not always, especially when we don't even know how to fight this Leviathan, this dragon, right? Like, yo, what?
Absolutely.
The true hero's journey is the death and the rebirth.
Come on.
So have you ever had any moments?
Oh man, that's just that's a part of the game. It's kind of like if I was hooping, like I know they gonna trap me.
Yeah.
That's a part of the game. You know what I mean? So I got what I do. I go in the closet. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Dust myself off, wipe them tears off, and get back out there and let's go get it. And then that means, you know, if it's a situation where I'm like, I got beat up, that means I gotta go hit the books harder. Which means it could be in any capacity. That might mean I need to go expand my network. That might mean I need to go to Google and go to YouTube and learn some new shit. That might mean I need to go pick up 5 books about this, learn that, come back. That might mean I need to go and collab with my crew, mastermind on some shit. Or that might mean I need to get out and get uncomfortable. That's a part of the game. And then the faster you do it, the more you do it, the more those incidents happen. But at the same time, the more you just realize it's just a part of the game. So it's nothing. So when you say that, yeah, for sure, all day. It's nothing though.
Do you think that people fold because they don't recognize that that's a part of the game? Like that's literally built in the system of the game?
Absolutely. So it's, you know, pain. You gotta, like, we all run away. So people, we're conditioned to run away from the pain, but the pain is actually where the value lies. Like,
oh, wait.
That's why you want
wait.
That's why you want we gonna explain.
Say that again. Say it
one more time.
Say that one more time.
So we run away from the pain, but the pain is where the value lies.
Let's
like,
go.
You need the pain. Like, think about it. If I was lifting weights, I mean, my muscles gotta get ripped and they gotta get stretched out.
Yeah.
They gotta go through pain in order for them to grow. So that's just what it is. You know what I mean? In order, you got to think about it in everything. If a plane needs to get off the ground, without gravity, it can't fly. So you always have to have the construct. So that's life. You know what I'm saying? It's the struggle of it that makes it grow. So if you don't, you know. So I grew up. So you know, and this is what, when you talk about reflecting, like. So I grew up like all the time, man, when I was a kid. Like that's why I smiled like, cause I used to fight like every day. Like every day. Like it wasn't not that I was the dude. I wasn't the dude that started the shit, but I was always a dude that somebody tested cause I was cool.
Yeah.
So I always had to chunk them.
Yeah.
And if you would be, I'm coming back.
Oh man, I was, you know what I'm saying? I was wild. So I purposely smile all the time because that's not my vibe. I don't even like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not that, but I can use my hands. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. But I don't like that. So that's what I do all day long. But what it taught me is like, it's always a fight.
Let's go.
It's always a fight, and it's either it's internally, it's physically, it's always a fight. Like even if you want a successful relationship, it's a fight within that relationship to make sure that you build and you go through that struggle. Like it's just what it is, man.
Yeah.
And so, if you love it and that pain and you go towards it, then you can do it at a more rapid pace and you can grow faster.
I love how you speak same language, or same ideology in different like verbiage a little bit. Like I'm like, so and that's kind of, and I know that's why Play was looking at me a little bit. So my album is actually, that's coming out, my spoken word album, and what I've actually based my program on, right? The pain and power process, right? Pain to power, right? Understanding that your pain is your power. Your pain is your power, like, and then when you start talking about fight, I'm like, yo, this dude, he cut from the same cloth, bro. And I thank you for that cloth. Like, you know, So, what is your, because I do have my definition. I'll share with you mine, but it's not, because it's, I feel like sometimes we all have our own books of definitions. What's your definition of fight? What does it mean to fight?
a fight to me is like, it's life. Like I don't know. If you plant a seed, that in order for it to grow, it's gotta fight through the turf and the ground. Like that's just life, bro. Like I don't know anything. It's life. It's just transformed in different ways. Think about it. A plane utilizes 90% of its gas to get off the ground. To get off the ground. That means it has to fight gravity to get off the ground.
Or in other words, to rebel against resistance.
Yeah.
Talk about the refinement.
All right, so this was something, and it just get like I turned 25. Right, for those that know me,
Genius at 25. God.
So I'm 28 now. Okay. When I turned 25, I knew it was time for me to finally leave home. I was voted best spoken word artist of the city, all that. But I looked into the crowd. I didn't think I was the best at anything, honestly. But I knew that I had support from my city. I knew it was time to go. Yeah. Right. And so on that journey, I had undergo a lot of trials and a lot of beautiful things. It was a beautiful journey in it all. But through that journey, I found out and I discovered that the fire is designed to refine you. Right, it's designed to, like, the longer you sit and before gold is fire. Like, in order to be solid, pure gold, it has to undergo a certain amount of fire.
Let's go.
And a lot of times we look at that fire like it's hot and that's bad. Like and it could come from the mentality of how we raise our children. Right, touch that, it's hot, bad, stop. Yeah. And so when we're in the fire and it's hot, stop. Yeah. But I was a rebellious kid because I told you about Ernest Watkins the first. Like, so it's hot, but how I used to put hot sauce in my mouth to see. Right, because I was like, that was me, and that was my claim to glory, showing my brother I'm strong.
I can take that.
So even now, and I'm realizing, like, if you ever want to learn about yourself, tap back into your childlike self. Who were you then? That's who you are. And so, like, with the fire, right, like sitting in it, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna sit here. It's hurt and it's hot and all of that. And then that moment of after that storm, after that fire, after that, when you jump up and you like that powerful moment.
Hella melanin is strong in you right now.
Like, bro,
hella melanin though.
Yeah, you can't hurt me.
Yeah,
and it was mind you, because I was not always as confident, right? In myself, didn't always believe in myself. I share that story for some other time. But when I was in the hospital bed after, with the fractured spine, I had just got my legs back, but I was like, if I just undergone these 3 bullets, there's nothing else physically on this earth that can hurt me. And not in a cocky way. Wow. It was really in a humbling way. As I was dropping tears, nobody was in the room, and I finally had a moment to myself to really weep and grieve about the situation that somebody really tried to take my life. But I'm like, I chose to use that, like, listen, if this was the most painful thing that I had felt at this time, at least I thought it would be. I'll talk about that another time during like Valentine's Day when the circles back around. Yeah. If that was the most painful thing that I felt, then there is nothing. Then how I bounce back from this, I can be able to bounce back from whatever. So I have no choice but to bounce back from this. So yeah, man, like literally like taking. So at what age would you say that you realized that, and I'll just use my words, your pain was your power? When did you accept it?
18.
Okay. I believe that.
18 and then 25. 25 is definitely a pivotal one. Because 25 is like you're still young, but you have like this level of wisdom that catches you, and then just in a different way. 18 was just like, I can do this.
All ego, huh?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was all ego. But then 25 was a little bit different, and that's what you start comparing what you was taught, and you realize that a lot of the stuff we was taught was watered down. Man,
not giving the full game,
and you're not really giving me the game. And then you start picking up your own. Like, wait a minute, and then and that's when I started picking up. Mentors, people who were older than me, people who had wisdom, 10, 15, 20 years ahead of me, going towards the direction that I desire.
Tell them about that 33% law.
Oh yeah, so 33.5%.
Shout out to Ty Lopez.
Yeah. Shout out to Ty Lopez for this one. This is basically the way you structure the individuals you surround yourself with. Your time breakdown. 33.5% of your time should be with people who influence you, people who you look up to. Another 33.5% with people who are your peers, right? And then another 33.5% with people who you are teaching, who you have influence over, like teaching your youth, right? So that's a nice breakdown, an even kill versus you being 90% of your time with people that you inspire, but then you're missing the boat of who's inspiring you, who's guiding you, and because we're all influential. Again, we just talked about music, how obviously the vibration, sometimes the words that you don't even want, but that input affects the output. So if you realize that, well, then it's definitely highly important to pick the right individuals that you surround yourself with.
Right. How would you? Okay.
Cause you asking a lot of questions over there, bro. You good. I just want to let you know that you're inspired.
We all inspired. This is
I appreciate that.
Yeah, this is value right here.
I was always kicking with the big homies when I was a little homie, right?
That's a good thing.
Like I never had the opportunity because a lot of people didn't know my true age, and so like but truth, like because of that. I don't often, when I get the opportunity, I like to soak up game from those that, especially those that are like very much moving, or like I said, come very much similar from the same place that I come from. Like I'm like, okay, because it does inspire me, especially knowing that you had undergone some of the same things, especially on the family level. I think that was always my hardest battle. Right, so that's what it is. I'm like, man, I'm really interested.
It's live.
This is like, that's nice that the mic is in front of me, but really, bro, like,
y'all, it's therapy.
The family battle is live, homie. It's live,
and it ain't gonna change.
It's live.
Yeah, man. So thank you, bro.
Oh man, you're welcome. It's my pleasure. And that's another thing. What I would say based on what we're doing right here. I mean, life it is like the logo you guys have, which is genius, and that orange tree. Life is growth and contribution.
Come on,
so
talk about
seed. You plant that seed, water that tree grows, and then you can eat off of that tree. That means all we got to do is duplicate life. Is grow and contribute.
And the scary part for me is like, life will duplicate itself regardless of what if you're not aware of what you plant, life is going to duplicate what you plant. You could have a seed with all type of fire in it, and the fire is going to grow.
Absolutely. Gravity don't care if you know about the law or not. You can be a 6-year-old who on top of this roof who have no idea about the law of gravity.
Jump if you want to.
Guess what happens?
Jump if you want to.
The law does not care.
Yeah. Just like trauma don't care.
Will fall.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
No discrimination.
Just like time don't care. It's the same narrative across the board. The universal laws are the universal laws, and there's no way around it. I think my issue, and the reason why I was bringing you on, is because I feel like there's a gap, and people don't really comprehend the universal laws.
Of course there is. That's the
Is this the Matrix?
That's the hoop game. That's the game. So you basically, you guys are making a decision. We all have made a decision to say, oh, we're not going to be fans. We're going to actually play on the court.
Yeah.
So that's the opposing team. Like that's. So I just basically saying I've accepted that's the opposite squad. So yeah, of course. Like that's life.
And hands down, their responsibility is to play defense.
Yeah.
And
they come in. They gonna be ready. So for you, it would be naive to think you gonna come at this game not understanding finances. It's like naive to think you gonna try to come at this game without knowing business. It's naive to think you're gonna come at, like, they got squad.
Yeah.
They got squad, and you like, I'm gonna come as a solo mission, as a solo act. Like, really?
Yeah.
Nah. They've been doing this for a long time. They've been throwing W's for a long time, and they got every single position filled, and they professionals. So if you gonna play this game and you're not willing to learn and be professional, forget about it. And that's the real live truth. Like, so yeah, when I'm studying, and this is where, like, like it's important to be a student, and that's kind of the pieces that I realized when I moved. It's like I saw real life students to get good grades, but I realized that some of the things I got influenced to learn to become a good student, but at the same time I realized what I need to become a student of. I need to become a student of things that's gonna free my people.
Come on.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I need to become an A+ student at that shit.
Yeah.
Not no C student at that.
Yeah.
I need to become an A+ student because who I'm playing against.
So let's talk about the freedom for a second. We got a few more minutes.
Okay.
Let's talk about the freedom. My question earlier before you let all of your genius out was, is the Matrix real? Right? Because you're a Sac State Hornet, right? You moved from Vacaville, came up here, went to Sac State. But now you're an entrepreneur. Are you even I don't even know bro, I've known you for like 15 years. I don't even know what your degree is in. I don't even know what year you graduated. You never talk about it. You never pump it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even, I'm not going to say it's not a relevant fact of your life, but like, you don't talk about it at all. So my question to you is the Matrix real? Right? Like, in the perspective of everybody's going to be educated, everybody's going to get this degree. You've graduated, you've been out of college for quite some time, you've started and owned and still own multiple businesses, right? Serial entrepreneur, like me and Dr. Coon. What is the difference between the two? And what advice would you give somebody who's in college, but they got that itch, like, man, something is missing? What would you tell them?
I think that we need to really think about what's the reasoning behind going to college. So I got my degree in business.
Did they teach you about business though? Concepts, and then you may have, and also I'm gonna be honest, it does depend on who your professor is, because I had one professor who actually was a business investor. So I had one, but it also depends on what college you go to too. That's true.
Because right now, information is readily available to all of us quickly on the smartphone. So we got
YouTube University.
We got this thing called YouTube.
YouTube University.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out YouTube and Google, for real. But what I'm saying is, you have something where you can actually go and watch a Stanford course on business from an actual, very, very successful owner of a business. Talking about business, where you have some cases you go to an institution where the individual teaching you about business never owned a business. I had an interesting situation because I was in real estate while I was going to Sac State. I was in a position because I had enough credibility where I was doing some of the loans of my professors at Sac State, and I was actually making more income than my professors teaching me about business. So I'm young, making revenue, and seeing their finances. So I was in a very interesting scenario.
Kidding me.
But what I would share is the school is a tool, and I think it needs to be used differently. I think college needs to be used more as a networking tool opposed to an educational tool, because you can get education literally through your smartphone. You can get education everywhere. It just depends on what's your goal. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it all comes down to the outcome at the end of the day. But also, it depends on what that person is looking to do. But that's the goal. The goal is to sell you on going to school for a very long period of time, because that also is a business.
School is a business.
Hello.
When you come out with,
if you don't think everything around you is a business, I would encourage you to make sure you pay attention to the writing on the walls, because they're making profit. So it's a business. So when you can't even get into a class and you pay this money, that means that business is booming out the box.
Yeah, they don't need you.
You can't even get in.
I just had an epiphany, because that was for show me.
Oh man,
signing up left and right. What would you tell somebody who's in the Matrix at this point?
All right, so first I want you to, you can break down them. I'll add to it.
You can do that.
And The Matrix is one of my favorite movies, by the way.
Man.
So like when we
you got to explain that a little bit, because I know you was going there too, because
I had to,
there's
because
people that have never seen that.
So The Matrix, a movie about a guy named Mr. Anderson, also known as Neo, who is living a double life. He's a computer hacker. And then over the net, he meets a guy named Morpheus, pretty much. And he tells him that there is something else. There's a real world.
Yeah.
And this world is not a real one.
Yeah.
And that is actually a control system.
Yeah. And that you're a battery in the system to keep the system's momentum going and moving and flourishing.
Right. And so, like, we know the action-packed part. Like, as a kid, I liked the fact that I like the graphics. Like, whoa. And I like the black leather, and I went and got a leather jacket. Right. And then, like, it was a dope movie, and I'm like, stopping bullets and all that. Right. But, and for those that know the Matrix, you know how dope that movie is, and how it ends with him accepting that he is the one. He is the one to be able to cross barriers and boundaries, right? Go in and out of the dream world and the real world. Wow. And
side note, did y'all know a black woman wrote that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
And so, like,
shout out to the queens.
So when we like jokingly, laughingly, playfully, but very seriously, like when we talk about this Matrix, we're talking about the control systems of things, right? Institutions and right that program of. And I'm not knocking anybody. Yeah, I'm not knocking anybody who's living their life like this, because I feel it. We were given a blueprint. The blueprint.
Who were given a blueprint.
Go to work 9 o'clock, get off at 5 o'clock. You know, if you go
be in traffic for an hour, come home,
go pick your
clean the house,
the case, and then
cook dinner.
Constantly like a clock, right? Or robotic, very very robotic. And then there are some that live, or that have cracked the code and found a way to live a little bit more free. Like I said, and I'm not knocking anybody. I learned to. There was a tugging in my heart always at a young age.
Yeah.
Just like, and I just wasn't, that rebellious thing was in me. My mom be like, take this trash. I'd be like,
right.
And I get in trouble a lot. I'm like, why you gonna tell me to? If you wasn't gonna tell me like that, I would have took it. Right. But I ain't gonna. Okay, yes, ma'am. You know, I got a couple whoopings, but that rebellious nature, right? And to the point to where it's like when when I'm feeling that tug, I'm like, yo, I'm so curious to find out what that tug is about. Yeah. Like Neo.
Absolutely.
I'm so curious to find out what this little rabbit is about. Let me follow this little rabbit real quick. And so, like, that caused me to. I accepted, and it took a long time, right? Because I tried different parts of the Matrix, I went and got I was working like a very much corporate job at one point, and you know, with the benefits and all the stuff, and I realized that wasn't even safe when they flipped the table on me. And I'm just saying, just in case I didn't work out, just in case I became too aggressive, I'm just got to be really honest,
man.
Right? Like, or whatever the case, like, you know, and I thank God for them, real talk, because they gave me permission to then be free.
Yeah.
After that, I went to the river and I heard the voice. When one door closes, another door was always open. Not it open, it was always open. You know who you are. Now you have no choice but to accept it.
Right.
Be that. Right. And so, like, being free, and like, there's like, for myself, the blueprint. I get the blueprint is paid for a lot of folks, but I'm like, yo, me and my boy, when we started out like performing and like really just kind of like going throughout the city and meeting new people, there'll be some parties, right, that we'll go to. Shout out to all the party throwers in the building. Wait, I didn't give a full name. Slappy and T. All right,
Slappy and T in the building. We out here.
And even other parties, right? Even the like house parties or whatever the case. If the party was flooded, there's a line outside, I always tell my boy, like, hey, let's sneak through the back. Let's sneak through the back. And so living life like that, living success like that, there's less people in the back door.
Man,
back door is a little bit harder to get in. Man, but we're gonna go through the back and we're gonna try this. And there's no pathway paved, but I'm kicking through the door. And there's some that are just called to move like that. And I'm okay with that position. It was not. This journey is not easy at all. No. But then now, once I've done it, now my kids.
Yeah.
So now you got the ability to go in and out of the Matrix. I can now that I'm in the park, I can stand in the line now too.
Gotta know how to do it all.
But then also, there's a pathway here, so hey, man, hey. And I'm only standing in the line so I could tap on the homies like, hey, we in the back.
Yeah, it's good.
even like really rocking with Play. That's literally what Play did with me. Like, and I was 19 getting into the 21 and us. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But he like literally,
Pay
it was
it
just
forward.
like a recognition thing. And he tapped my, hey,
You safe?
you good over here?
I
Come on,
got you.
let's go. We're going through the back door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like literally having that. So that's what we refer to as the matrix, that control system, like following the rules to a T.
Yeah.
And then what does it look like to just literally be free? To free yourself and try something that may be very different, very much scary, very much not unheard of, but do it. Right? The Harriet Tubmans.
That's right.
Man, come on. Hey, did y'all? So I'm a history buff. Did y'all know Harriet Tubman had a limp, and she carried a shotgun? And anybody that was averting the mission, right? Anybody that put the mission in jeopardy, they gotta go. So I want to end with this, Rod. I want to tell you thank you, bro. I want to tell you thank you, bro, because you painted the picture
pleasure.
of the vision
Jeez.
and the mission for me at a young age, and I'm passing it to my little homies.
Absolutely.
Who are now generals and kings of their own right, man. So I thank you, bro. I love you. I appreciate you. You know, you've always been one to up my game. And, you know, you're the first one. You with us, bro.
Man, I appreciate y'all to the fullest. This is a beautiful thing. Gotta say this on here. This is a truly an honor and a pleasure. I mean, you guys are. This is a whole nother level, for real. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Like, this is a must. We gotta do this, and this is literally just it's a pleasure to be a part of something so powerful, something so dope. This vibe is amazing. Like, anytime y'all need me, throw me in there.
That's good.
You know what I mean? That's
I want to ask you one last question. One crucial piece of advice that you would give the world, to the listeners, to the family, to those in the kingdom. Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
For those in the empire that's listening, for those who support Chris&Play and CoonThePoet, for those who support KingME, for those who sit on their throne and take responsibility for their legacy, what would you tell them?
Design your own blueprint. Design the life that you truly desire, because we are built here to be creators.
Come on.
You are a creator.
Come on.
You know what I mean? And it really is completely our decisions that we make to create whatever we desire in this life.
Sure.
So you have the ability to do anything you desire, and all you have to do is learn and grasp that wisdom and work at it and design it straight up. So
cool.
Here it is.
Last word.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for not just coming out, but being transparent.
For sure.
Thank you to Hot Rod, and for anybody else out there, don't be afraid to be Neo.
Yeah,
you are Neo.
I like that.
You are Neo. Only difference between him and you is he embraced the fact that he was the one. When you embrace the fact that you are the one in your own personal story, your own personal hero's journey, that's when you will get the power to be able to cross boundaries in and out of the matrix. Peace, love.
Last words from Chris&Play.
Oh yeah.
Man, I believe in everybody.
Yes, sir.
Everybody got a God inside of them. All you got to do is ask him to stand up. All you got to do is ask her to stand up. So we appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. We want to wish you peace and blessings.
Yeah.
We want to wish you much love, prosperity and abundance.
Greatness. Kingdom kind of power.
Responsibility, agape love, responsibility for the empire.
True love, legacy.
We want you to wear your heart.
Yeah, most definitely. Wear your heart.
And give yourself a second and third chance, man. Be the rising phoenix.
Yeah.
We love y'all.
For sure.
Peace out.
All right. Peace.